Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today, I'll be flying out the Kawasaki Ki-45 Toryu. The nickname Toryu means Dragon Slayer. The Ki-45 was a part of the Imperial Japanese Army Air Force during World War II. The Ki-45 was developed in the late 1930s and was used as an interceptor, ground attacker, and reconnaissance aircraft. The development of the Ki-45 was prompted by the need for a long-range fighter capable of escorting bombers over extended distances. The initial prototype, designated Ki-45-1, flew in January of 1939 and showed promising performance. It featured a streamlined fuselage, twin-engine configuration, and a dorsal turret armed with a 20mm cannon. This variant that I'm flying right now, the Te, has an additional 37mm cannon on its nose. You really don't get a lot of ammo, so you have to make sure that you conserve it. The guns on the Ki-45 are already hard enough to aim. It really is preferable to have a one-shot, one-kill. But just like I said before, these guns are really hard to aim. This aircraft also comes with a 20mm cannon that I will demonstrate how to aim and how to bind in your keybinds. All you have to do is go to the controls menu, go to the top search bar, type in cannon, click on the second option, Shraj Musique, and click assign button, assign your button then. Like I just said before, I will demonstrate on how to aim and fire with this gun, as it is quite complicated. Other than that, the Ki-45 faced challenges in combat. As the war progressed, so did the Allied aircraft. Once the P-38, P-51, and F-4U Corsair came along, just to name a few, the Ki-45's air superiority diminished fairly quickly. That's all I have for the history on the Ki-45. I hope you enjoy the combat. I see this Wellington coming in, so now I'm going to try to get a couple shots off on him. He turns in towards me, which is great. I fire a couple times, and take him out. I would definitely say I got a little overzealous with firing the gun, but I still just wanted to get the kill because I know how hard it is to aim and fire with this Ki-45. I've had times where I've fired one 37mm at somebody, hit them, and it's done absolutely nothing to them. I see this buffalo below me, so now I'm going to try to energy trap him. I'm going to dump my flaps to gain some more lift and fly a lot slower. He fires at me. I'm still just going up. I know he's going to stall in just a couple seconds, so I anticipate that and dive. Thankfully, my Ki-43 teammate hits him. I dive on him. Fire there. I know I have very limited ammo, so I'm really trying to conserve it. Of course he J's out and I hit him. I got the teamwork achievement, but the assist would have been a little better. I see the P-400 coming in, so I'm going to try to energy trap him as well. The Ki-43 hits his wingtip. I come down. I look around me to make sure that nobody's coming in towards me. Right now I'm not necessarily trying to steal the Ki-43's kill, but I'm just wanting to make sure that the P-400 cannot make it back to his airfield. It looks like he's pretty much level for the most part, and it looks like he can get back to his airfield, so I'm going to try to kill him here. If you see an enemy going down, and it looks like they can't recover, please don't steal the kill. Since I only have 2 more shots of my 37mm, I'm going to try to use my 20mm. I think it's a lot easier to aim with them in the cockpit camera. You just have to make sure that you aim correctly. You also have to remember to click your keybind that you set to go into the Shraj Musique mode. Just like that, I set him on fire and he's going down. Once again, I'm going to demonstrate another kill about the Shraj Musique mode. So right there I hit my keybind, and I'm just diving on down to this J8A. I fire there, and I'm able to kill him right there. You absolutely have to remember to exit the Shraj Musique mode, or else this will happen if you're too low. I crashed because the sight picture is so much different than in the regular cockpit camera. Now that we're back to this game, you see the P-400 crash into the water. This map really is beautiful. I wish that War Thunder would give us more maps like this. I see another P-400 coming in to try to kill me. I fire once there. It misses, so I have to jink out of the way. A jink is an evasive maneuver. I call the rest of my team for help because this guy overpowers me in every way. I put 1 notch of flaps down so I can tighten up my turn. I know that if I keep this turn fight up, he's just going to eventually pull into me and I'm going to die. My engines are already overheating, so now I'm going to raise my flaps and try to run away using my speed as my advantage. The good thing is that I have a gunner view, so now I'm going to try to get a couple shots off on this guy. As he pulls in closer and closer, I know I have to jink out of the way. I'm successful with doing that, so now I'm going to go into the gunner view to try to get some more shots off on this guy. He's not paying attention because who does at 1.7, and he crashes into the mountain. Now I have a pretty big problem though. I have my 2 engines that are both overheating, and the right engine is leaking oil. If I lose all my oil in my right engine's going to quit. Now I can definitely fly on one engine, it's just not going to be very ideal on landing. This is the time when I can think ahead. So right now I'm presuming that my right engine's going to quit, so I know it's going to pull to the right since the left is still running. I know I'm going to want to stay high on my base leg so I can kill my power and dump my flaps. I'm only going to do that though if I can make the airfield. I also know that I'm going to have to put it down on the left wheel if the engine quits. It's just like if we had wind. If the wind is from our left, we put the left wheel down first. If it's from our right, we put the right wheel down first. So I started climbing and I'm plenty high on my base leg, which I like. I could always do a forward slip if need be. A forward slip is when you use opposite aileron and opposite rudder. That will help us descend in altitude a lot quicker and hold a certain airspeed. If I want to descend quicker in the forward slip, I want to use more flaps. I just have to be mindful though, because I'm going to gain a lot of energy in the forward slip. I know that I have a fairly short runway and I really don't want to go around here. I kill my power, drop my gear, and dump my flaps because here I know that I can make the airfield. But my right engine quit, which is not good. Here I'm going to use the forward slip technique. I use a little too much rudder here, so I gotta be careful. If something like that happens again and I'm too slow, I'm gonna stall and I'm not gonna be able to recover. You always want to keep your nose down on base to final. Like I just said before, if you get too slow, you're gonna stall, and then you're gonna go into a spin. You're definitely not gonna recover from that because you're too low. I'm gonna turn final a little bit early because I know I'm gonna be higher if I turn early. I did put a little bit of power in, but I just have to make sure I see where the nose is going. I really want to make sure I don't get too slow and stall. I'm going to round out a little early because I know I'm a little fast. I know if I round out a little bit early, I'm going to sink a lot faster, but I have to fly my airspeeds for that to work. Right now I'm trying my best to land on the left wheel, kill my power there. I probably should have kept my power in there and killed it once I landed. I got too slow and that's why pretty much both wheels touched down at the same time. Thankfully everything's fine though and I got on the ground safely. Now that I've been repaired and rearmed, I'm going to go to full power and push the nose down until the tail wheel comes up. I'm going to pull back a ½ inch. And we're airborne. I see the enemy Sunderland getting fired at from the patrol boat, so I'm going to go towards him. I have to be very mindful though of how close I'm getting to the enemy airfield, because if I get too close, I'm going to get shredded by his artillery. I fire there to hopefully scare him, and maybe he'll turn in towards me, but he doesn't. I fire twice again there, don't hit him, and then I turn away from his airfield because I really don't feel like getting shredded by his ground artillery. I'm just trying to do all these evasive maneuvers to get out of the way of all this flak. I'm using the terrain as cover, and I look back to see where the Sunderland is. He's going back to his airfield, definitely, so now I'm going to climb back up. He took off again, so now I'm going to try to get to him. But we win the game instead, which is great. Thank you everybody for watching and I hope you enjoyed my video. If anybody has any suggestions on what aircraft they want me to fly next, please leave it in the comment section down below and I would be happy to fly that aircraft.